Welcome to this Hope to Go. Today I want to talk to you about when life gets messy. I want to also talk to you about failure, and specifically what to do with failure. What do you do when your plans don't quite match up? What do you do when things don't work as you planned? I want to start by giving you 3 facts about failure. These facts are not rocket science. Most, if not all of you will say, I knew that. First, failure is painful. When you fail, a scar forms, and the damage that is done, it wipes your ego clean, your confidence is gone, and your pride is replaced with embarrassment. And with failure comes emotional pain, spiritual pain, and sometimes even physical pain. And with the pain comes scars. Some of you are dealing with the scars left over from failure, and that's because failure is painful. And second, failure is universal. Everyone will fail at something. Like Neo in the Matrix, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, everyone will fail. It doesn't matter who you are or how successful you think you are. I mean, Neo was the chosen one, and failure can happen to anyone at any time. Why do midlife crises happen? Because you feel the need to prove to yourself and everyone you know that your life isn't a failure. And not everyone will experience a midlife crisis, but everyone will experience failure. It's universal. Third, failure produces results. Paralysis or growth. A paralysis, if you refuse to try something new because you tried it once before and it didn't work out. So you made a promise to yourself that you are not going to risk failure ever again. And so you become paralyzed, frozen, unwilling to move or act. And B, growth. Your failure will cause you to lean on God, and you'll learn from your mistakes and grow. Those are your choices. Learn from your failure and grow, or allow your failure to paralyze you. So what do you think that Jesus would have you to do? In this Hope to Go, I want to give you some ABCs when life gets messy. This is a take-home truth. A, recognize life can be difficult, but God is faithful. Revelations 2:9 says, I know about your suffering and your poverty, but you are rich. Because there's something that God does. When we're weak, we're strong. He gives honor when humility comes. There are all kinds of life challenges, and at some point in time, we will all experience some kind of life challenge. The Apostle Paul, who wrote 3/4 of the New Testament, used the term and the idea that he often felt overwhelmed. 2 Corinthians 12:9, he says, and God reminds Paul in his trials, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. I want to give you the second point, and that's B. Brokenness is not a bad word. 2 Corinthians 1:9, it says, in fact, we expected to die, but as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely on God. You see, they weren't paralyzed. Who raises the dead? Did you get that? God is faithful to be a source of power and strength in our weakness. The very tribulation in your life that appears to be killing you is often the tool that God uses to bring beauty and blessing into your life. It says we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely only on God who raises the dead. That's resurrection power. The God who was faithful to deliver us in the past can be trusted in our future. And finally, C, God wants your life to tell a story. Psalms 119, the psalmist says this in 71 and 72 verse. He said, my suffering was good for me. Can you believe that he said that? It was good for me, for it taught me to pay attention to your decrees. Your instructions are more valuable to me than millions in gold and silver. You know, God is honored when our lives are lived out in a daily recognition that He alone is the one that enables us to get through the day. So if your life feels messy right now, you're on the verge of a breakthrough, and that's your hope to go.